What's up, everybody? I'm Dapper Chef, your gamer chef. This week, we're going to delve down into the world under the mountain, a land of monsters and spookums. If you haven't figured out already, this week's dish comes to us from Undertale. Now, in Undertale, there's this awesome skeleton dude, Papyrus, and he is constantly making us spaghetti. And it's a little weird. I mean, I like spaghetti, you like spaghetti, everybody likes spaghetti. And I got to thinking, I want to do an Undertale dish. And then the darndest thing happened. Papyrus's brother Sans came up to me and said, "Hey, Dapper Chef, you're pretty awesome. Here's this recipe that my brother has hidden away." So I took it. And I'm going to share this recipe with you guys at home. This Papyrus Parmesan poultry. So come with me into my kitchen and we're going to cook this together. Alright guys, so this is a super easy dish. It's super delicious. The first step is to grab your tongs, click test, make sure they work. We've got our breadcrumbs and our Panko breadcrumbs, along with our dry Italian seasoning. It's all mixed in here. I'm actually going to do a splash of salt, a couple little twists of pepper, just get it nicely seasoned. I'm gonna do a little mixerooski. If you got a fork, use your fork. If you want to use your fingers, use your fingers. I'm just doing this. We're going to step here for half a second. We're going to get some heat under our pan. And that's all we're going to do here for now. I got it under about medium-high heat just to let it warm up while we do this part here. Come back, we got our chicken breasts. You can either get the thin slice like I did, or you can get regular ones and then just kind of mash them down, get them nice and thin. You're going to dredge them right in these breadcrumbs and salt and pepper. And you just want like a nice little even coating. You don't want them like overly breadcrumbed. So there we go. You're going to do that for each of these, and then we're going to put them in our pan. This is Dapper Chef's pro tip for the week. Are you ready? Quick, easy way to see if your pan is ready for cooking. Get hand a little bit wet, move over to your pan and just, that sizzle tells me it's starting to get there. I'm gonna give it another couple seconds because it's not quite the temperature I need it yet. All right guys, now that we've got our chicken all breaded, you're gonna wanna preheat your oven to 425 degrees. That way, it can get up to temp while you're doing this next step here. You're gonna take your cooking oil, we're using the extra virgin olive oil, right in our pan. And I got it down to about a medium-high heat. And right now we're just gonna smear this around. Oh, careful, heads up. All right, we just wanna kind of coat the bottom of the pan. We don't wanna burn anybody yet. Take your clicky tongs, grab your first chicken breast, carefully lay it in the pan. Grab your second breast, carefully lay it in the pan. Grab the third. And you guessed it, we're gonna carefully lay it right there in that pan. Now, we're gonna let this pan fry for about 3 to 4 minutes per side. And I know a lot of you out there are like, "Dapper Chef, that's not enough time to cook that chicken breast all the way through," and you're right. But that's okay. Because what we're gonna do here, like I said, we're gonna let it go about 3 to 4 minutes per side, just till it's a nice golden brown. And then we're gonna throw it in the oven, because that's why we had it preheating. All right, so now I'm just gonna flip these over. And like I said, you want each side to be the kind of nice golden brown. So like, 3-4 minutes per side, because we don't wanna cook it through. But in the same vein, we want that delicious panko breading nice and crispy. All right guys, so we've given this about 3 minutes per side. I'm gonna kill the heat under it. I'm gonna grab my oven mitt, and I cannot stress this enough. Please make sure that whatever pan you're using is oven safe. I double checked Calphalon, like we're using here, is oven safe to about 450 degrees, which is great because we're only at 425. We're going to open our oven door, and I'm just gonna set this right here on this middle rack. Set that right in there. and that's where it's going to stay for about 10 minutes. I'm erring on the side of caution and doing a full 10. That way it guarantees they're cooked through and no one's going to get sick from that. Alright guys, so here's a little bit of an optional step I'm doing. If you don't want to do it, that's totally fine, you don't have to. But I'm giving it a shot, I'm going to experiment with it. You know, much like how Papyrus is consistently experimenting with his pasta. Well, the biggest difference is I'm not using pasta, I'm using zucchini noodles, or Zoodles as apparently people like to call them. I don't know. I've never tried them, this is my first time. So, what I'm actually doing is I've got a bunch raw that I'm going to be using for the recipe right here. If you guys don't have a spiralizer, your local grocery store probably has this in their produce section. So what we're doing is I'm using keeping most of it raw, but I'm gonna kind of lightly saute a little bit in a little bit of olive oil, just to, you know, kind of draw out some of that moisture, get it a little more of a crunch to it, and, you know, try it warm. I don't know, it could be great. It could be fantastic. It could be terrible. I don't know. I've never done it. This is a first for Dapper Jeff. Our timer's going off. Quiet. You're worse than Sans' puns. So what that tells me is 10 minutes have happened. We're gonna open up this bad boy. I'm gonna reach in here with my oven mitt, carefully pull out my chicken. I'm gonna leave the oven open because we're not done yet. And I'm actually gonna rig up some extra crispy chicken parm, and that's our other pro tip. So we're gonna take some delicious, fresh mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna put 2 little dollops on each chicken breast. Look at those dollops. Dollop of cheese. I'm gonna quickly wipe my hand off. I'm gonna grab the oven, or the pan again. I'm gonna put it right back in the oven. And here's where it gets fun, because you want to do it for another maybe 3 minutes. I mean, just until that cheese gets nice and melty and gooey. And so when that comes out, and that's where this trick comes in. When it comes out is when we add in our delicious pasta sauce. And we're going to use about 12 ounces, about half the jar. But that way, it doesn't moisten the breading on the chicken. So that breading is going to be nice and crispy and crunchy when we pair it off with our fantastic Zoodles. It still feels really weird to say that. So, you know, for the next 2 minutes, I mean, go play some Undertale. Or do what Sans never could. Learn a good joke. Alright guys, so it's been 3 minutes. I'm gonna turn off the timer, and open that. Oh, look at that. Our cheese is starting to melt beautifully. I'm gonna pull this out. And to prevent the breadcrumbs from like burning on the bottom, now I'm gonna add in our fantastic pasta sauce. And I'm just gonna, you know, like right on the top there. Whoop, careful because it will splash. There we go. But this way, our chicken gets sauced. Our sauce gets chickened. Put my hand back in this oven mitt, and I'm gonna throw it right back in the oven for another 2 minutes. I mean, just long enough for that sauce to heat up. If you can actually find like a thinner sliced mozzarella, that might work better for, you know, melting all over the chicken breast, but it's not required. So yeah. All right guys, our timer is done, so I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna, once again, open up this bad boy that you can fit so many. Click like and subscribe down below and never miss an episode. I'm gonna pull our chicken out of the oven. Woo, buddy. I'm gonna get this all plated up and I'll see you guys in just a minute. All right guys, that's how you make a fantastic Undertale themed Papyrus's poultry Parmesan for your friends at home. And I just realized there's no Parmesan in Sans! Yeah, I'm gonna go whoop on a skeleton. But until then, while I'm doing that, you guys enjoy this dish. Don't forget, click subscribe down below, ring that bell icon so you never miss an episode. If you really like Well Fed, consider donating to my Patreon. It'll really help us out. So, I'll catch you guys next week with another brand new dish. But until then, I want you to do me a huge favor. Stay well fed. You know what? I'm gonna get in there with my fingers. You know? Because I'm Sans Fork.